What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii and I'm back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. And yes, you did read that title correctly. We are actually going to be doing a skill up video in today's video. Now, actually, I don't even remember the last time I actually made a double skill up video. However, with the way that they've structured the previous events, it actually warrants a skill up video, I guess. I actually have a lot of stuff to try and skill up in today's video. So the things that we have to skill up are obviously all of the new event characters. I farmed up, yesterday on stream, I actually farmed up enough copies of Sanji and Pudding, and I believe should be enough to max skill the characters. I also have farmed up the copies of Coliseum Kuma and also the dual character, the dual raid character that just arrived, being Shanks and Mihawk. So I have about 50 copies of Shanks and Mihawk. I have a decent amount of copies of Sanji, a decent amount of copies of Kuma, and a decent amount of copies of Charlotte Pudding. So in this video, we're going to be doing all of our skill ups, and hopefully you guys have some really good skill up rates right now. But yeah, I would definitely like to go ahead and max out these characters because they are all going to be very useful characters in the treasure map, of course. And obviously, I probably should go ahead and try and max level and limit break the characters that I got from the new batch, so I can potentially go ahead and use those for limit break. But anyways, let's start things off with, we'll go from the worst character in my opinion to the best character, or like the more difficult content. So we'll start off with the Sanji. So Sanji's the one I don't care about the most, but obviously I would like to max all the characters from the event as possible. This character's not too bad. I was actually reading up on him yesterday on stream when I was actually going ahead and farming him up. He's actually pretty decent. He's got the actual crewmate ability that resists special rewind for himself by 3 turns. So if he gets up to 3 turns of special rewind put on himself, he actually will go ahead and rewind it back, which is pretty cool. Having a character like that is quite nice, especially because his special ability will allow himself to reduce the cooldowns of powerhouse and fighter characters. So if you are ever in a situation where you get all of your characters rewound, you can use a character like this to rewind them. I believe he also does something else. He does orb manipulation as well. I think he delays or something like that as well. So that's actually pretty good. This character is definitely worth maxing out. And as I said, all of these characters that we're doing in this video, all of them are going to be trusty characters in the upcoming treasure map. So it is just worth doing it because it's just always nice to have the variety of characters. You never know when you're going to need a certain character maxed out, so it's always good to go ahead and do it. Unfortunately, we are getting absolutely destroyed from these skill up rates right here. We've only got, what, 2 skill ups? God damn, 2 skill ups from 15 copies is pretty bad. So hopefully we can actually end up strong here. Otherwise, we'll have to go ahead, go back in and farm up a few more copies. But, you know, it is what it is. You know, you got to do what you got to do. Sometimes you get a little bit unlucky, but I'm hoping that we get the most luck from the difficult content from Kuma and Shanks and Mihawk, as we get a 3 out of 5 there, which is absolutely amazing. I think we only need 1 or 2 more skill ups from this guy. I'm not too sure how many skill ups he needs, but I'm sure we are getting very, very close. Just to reiterate, what's his special ability do again? Orb manipulation. Yeah, he did delay. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought it was. Yeah, so it does the orb manipulation, he delays, and he also reduces cooldown. So yeah, this character is very, very nice. Even if you don't really care about this Sanji that much, you can still go ahead and use the copies from the Fortnite to max out other copies of Sanji that you might own. So that is an option to do, you know, even if you've fully maxed out the character and you want to continue farming, that is something that you got to do. Also, last night, there was actually a data download put on the game that actually added the new a new login character will be available to us, which is going to be a new login Reiju. Now that character actually came out during the anniversary, I believe, when it came, oh no, not during the anniversary, during when Big Mom and Brook actually came out. So that does obviously hint towards the fact that the anniversary will be Big Mom and Brook. So yeah, that's kind of cool that we did get that information about that data download. Unfortunately for us right now, we're getting absolutely destroyed here. Can we potentially get a 1 out of 1? I'm not even too sure how many more skill ups this character even needs. Unfortunately, we didn't. So we'll have to go back in and farm up a few more characters of Sanji, hopefully max him out. So I'm not really too sure what he even maxes out at. What's his skill right now? 15, so I'm sure he doesn't need that many more copies. So unfortunately, unable to max out Sanji. So that's a really poor way to start off the video. Next is going to be our Charlotte Pudding. This character is so good, man. This character is so goddamn good. She provides a pretty good orb manipulation. She provides a 2.5 times chain multiply boost, 2.5 chain boost. So that's such a useful character, especially on a character that is actually free to play. Having access to this is very, very useful. And I believe does she reduce something with special bind? I don't remember exactly what it was. Changes G block and unfavorable slots to character zone type, reduces bind and special bind by 3 turns. And she actually has the crewmate ability that reduces special bind on herself. Yeah, this is a must farm character, especially if you are predominantly free to play. Even if you're not free to play, you should farm this guy up, or this gal up anyway, because she is such a useful unit to have. And we are getting quite a few skill ups here, which is good to see. Really good to see. I definitely want to max out this character. Even if I don't max her out anyway, I'm probably going to keep going in on the Fortnite because I would really love to go ahead and max out her sockets. I think she's like really that useful of a Fortnite character to go ahead and max her out. And I don't actually know if this actual character will return onto One Piece Treasure Cruise Global. I'm not too certain. I haven't really kept up with the JP side of the game, but I'm not too sure if this character's even returned on JP. And if she hasn't, well, that is even more, you know, of a thing to really just go ahead and farm her up, because it's going to be well worth it. She's really, really nice to get. Just having a free-to-play character that can do what she does is going to be useful. You know, it's nice, and she can put on a lot of different teams. She's got a, I think she's a, what, is she a Cerebral? Free Spirit Cerebral? I'm not even too sure what her classes are, but she's also Int, and it's good to see really powerful Int characters, especially because we got guys like V2 Akainu and V2 Shanks. Character's going to be really, really nice for that. Let me go ahead and check what her classes are. She is Cerebral Fighter. Okay, so that's interesting. She's a fighter. That's interesting. I thought she would have been Cerebral Free Spirit, but that's completely okay. She actually needs a lot of skill ups. That's pretty surprising. So what does she go down to? We got another skill up there, which is great. Okay, so she needs 9 skill ups, it looks like. That's fine. And we are going to be using the rest of these for sockets. Actually, I might go ahead and keep farming this anyway, because I probably would want to go ahead and max socket the rare recruit pudding as well. I think that's actually a pretty good way to go about it. So that's good. We maxed out Pudding, which is one of the better characters of this whole event. So thankful, very thankful for that, as we get a lot of sockets too. So we're actually like really close to finishing her off. So that's awesome. And she maxes out at 12 turns, so I would assume Sanji would be the exact same as that. So 12 turn cooldown for what she does is amazing. So let's go ahead and move on now to Coliseum Kuma, and we'll finish it off with the dual character. Now, Coliseum Kuma, actually, I have... Okay, so now we're going to work on Coliseum Kuma. So I actually had to quickly cut the video there because I realized that my Coliseum Kuma was not actually max level and max limit broken. So I actually had to go ahead and quickly do that. So we're back now. He is fully limit broken and we can work on skilling him up. And I need to actually go ahead here and give him all these skill books. Kind of screwed up there. Definitely give him these skill books, which could potentially give him a couple skill ups here or there. Coliseum Kuma, I feel like, is a Coliseum character that like a lot of people sleep on. He's actually pretty goddamn useful with some orb manipulation, with some utility, and also the fact that he has a potential chance to KO an enemy. He also does a health cut too if you do not KO the enemy. So I feel like Coliseum Kuma is kind of slept on, and he's quite useful to have, I feel. So yeah, I'm a big fan of this character, and he can be used on a lot of different teams. And one of the main reasons why I'm so excited for this character is literally because he can be put on a Katakuri team so well. So I'm really looking forward to using him with Katakuri. It's going to be good fun. There we go, we've got his barrier penetration, and he also has recovery bind resistance as well. So he has a really good set of limit breaks. Also, when you do limit break him, he gains an additional crewmate ability that will go ahead and give matching orbs to shooter characters. So as a passive effect, when he's a sailor, he will make Psi Orbs beneficial to shooters. So having this available to shooter teams is going to be quite nice. We already know shooters are really nice on Global at the moment. They're not like an OP class, like best class in the game, but they have a couple of options now, which is nice to see. And especially something like this. This is something that the shooter squads have definitely needed, is some sort of utility-based characters. They do have a couple of them, but having more access to characters that provide utility and provide heaps of other boosts are always going to be useful to have. So I'm probably just going to go with the standard socket order here. I love putting this socket order of having Chain to Spare. I love Chain to Spare. You pretty much have that on every character. Cooldown, I always love cooldown. I hate having to stall. Auto heals, very useful. And typically, a lot of people either put damage reduction or having orbs. I prefer the damage reduction. I feel like it's a little bit more useful because with orbs, that's an RNG kind of effect, but with damage reduction, it's not RNG. You're always guaranteed to get the damage reduction no matter what. And that's kind of my perspective of that. I do feel like the damage reduction just overall is just a much more useful mechanic compared to potentially getting more matching orbs. But I think it does completely come down to the character that you're socketing, because like a character like Legend Hody Jones, right? Typically with a character like him, you don't really want to tank damage anyway. So with him, I just give him orbs because it makes the most sense with his character. But for most characters, I typically put damage reduction, so yeah, that's pretty good. We're actually getting some pretty good luck here for Coliseum Kuma, which is nice. Hopefully I can max this guy out. If I don't go ahead and max out his sockets, I'm not really too worried about that much. If it does come down to a situation where I use him on a team and I don't have max sockets, I'll probably chuck a couple tomes into him. Or if I have some free time, I'll go ahead and farm up a couple more copies to potentially get some more sockets on this guy. But we are coming down to the end here. Hopefully we can at least max the skill. That's the definite most important part of the character here. I actually don't remember what he maxes out at. Is it like 14, 15 turns? I actually don't know. But we are getting quite close here, and I think that's it. And yes, perfect. Okay, that's absolutely amazing. I don't really think there's any other Kuma copies that I need to go ahead and socket out, so I guess I can feed all these to this guy. That's kind of cool. And what does he max out at? 13 turns. Wow, that's even better than what I thought. Holy crap. This character's so good, man. I already made a video about Coliseum Kuma. If you guys haven't seen that, make sure you go peep the video on the channel about that. Going through the entire Coliseum, so if you guys haven't seen that yet, go check it out. This is a very hard Coliseum, honestly, and, you know, don't be disheartened if you can't beat his Coliseum. It is very, very difficult, so there is the other option of farming him on the underground difficulty, and he's definitely much easier on that difficulty, so go ahead and farm that up if you are having quite a lot of troubles. So we did get quite a good amount of sockets here. We're still missing 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're missing 7 sockets, which is still pretty decent. We maxed out the cooldown, which is the most important part. A lot of my units on this account don't have cooldowns, so having the ability to max out the cooldown and Chain in Despair, that's fine. Typically, a lot of my units already have that completely maxed out. But now we're moving on to the final character of the video, which is going to be the global first dual character in Shanks and Mihawk. Man, when this character got announced, everyone absolutely lost their minds, because having a character like this be global first, man, lots of people were excited, but then we were kind of let down a little bit with how the character was actually built, and a lot of people aren't the biggest fans of the character, myself included. I feel like they definitely missed out on a couple of opportunities to give him some pretty crazy effects, but with some really annoying conditions. It's really annoying, you know. Having the fact that he has to be below 50% in order to get his conditional boost is a very, very, very unfortunate event, and just looking at it right now, he doesn't even get 5 socket spots when you max limit break him. I feel like that's also quite a missed opportunity, and I discussed this as well with someone in my comment section on the video when I actually broke down this character. Like, for the amount of difficulty that this event actually is, I feel like the characters should be better than what they are. I mean, I could be completely wrong here, but I feel like not a lot of people are going to be using this character that much. Like, even as like a captain, right? Even as a captain, why would you use a character like this when you can still use like another free-to-play option like Raidzor? And I feel like Raidzor is still like the best free-to-play slasher captain in the game. He's a phenomenal character to get a hold of. So, I don't know, man. I feel like they kind of screwed the pooch on this one. I mean, he's still a good character nonetheless. You can't take away what he does have. He's still pretty okay, but I feel like they definitely missed the mark on a couple things that could have made him like a top-tier free-to-play character. I still feel like most people should try and farm this guy anyway, because he's just pretty good. But yeah, you should probably just farm him up anyway. But it does open up the option, or just the question in the discussion on, are we going to be getting more characters like this in the future? Because, I mean, we got Garp and Sengoku first. That raid boss is a phenomenal character. I love Garp and Sengoku, but I would love to see more global first free-to-play stuff as well, like Coliseums. I feel like a global first Coliseum would be an amazing addition to the game. So we'll have to wait and see what they do about that. I was actually discussing that with people on Discord, I believe yesterday or the day before. When you actually look at the character log, obviously V3 Sabo came out to Globe on the Korean version. If you look at the ID I believe is like 5024 for V3 Sabo, and then 5025 and 5026 are not in there yet, but then after 5026 we get Neo Garp at 5027. So there's actually a gap of 2 additional characters that could be added onto global very, very soon. So we don't know when that's going to be happening, but it does open up the you know, the potential situation of there being even more global first characters arriving. So we'll have to wait and see for that one, but I am definitely excited to see what they are going to be doing. I actually haven't been paying attention to how many skill ups we've been getting on this character, but what are we on? We've got 10 skill ups so far, and we have a pretty decent amount, so I'm sure we'll get him maxed. If not, that's going to be quite a shame having to farm this once again. I had 50 copies of this character heading into the double skill up, so I am assuming that I'll be able to max this guy out. But let me know down below in the comment section on how your skill up went. Hopefully you maxed out everything that you really needed to do. Unfortunately for me, it looks like I'm not going to be getting the sockets that I really desire, but as long as I can max the skill, that again is the most important part, because otherwise you'll have to wait for them to return. And unfortunately, this double skill up event is only lasting for 2 days, and after this 2 days, we'll have to wait for like another week for another skill up. So yeah, if you have to max out these characters, I would suggest doing them now, because we don't know when the next event will come, and we don't even know if there's going to be a double skill up before the next treasure map. So that's part of the reason why I farmed up as much as I possibly could, because we just don't know when the next double skill up is after this. So I mentioned it briefly before, but we got the login Reiju that did come through data download yesterday, or it came through yesterday or last night. So that does mean that the next campaign event is very, very likely to be the anniversary campaign. So we'll probably get an announcement of double skill up during then. But as we saw, we just went ahead and maxed the skill of the new Mihawk and Shanks characters. So we'll feed these last 5 characters here and get a couple more sockets. Hopefully some either cooldown or auto heal would be great. And we do not. Okay, that is quite unfortunate, but we did max the skill, which obviously is the most important part here. Maxing out at a 13-turn cooldown, reducing bind, special bind, and attack down. That's the best part of the character, honestly, is the fact that he reduces all of those different debuffs. But that's pretty much about it. We maxed out pretty much everything that we wanted to max out, aside from the Sanji character. He actually got a little bit unlucky, but we maxed out Kuma. He's now rainbowed, which is awesome. We went ahead and maxed out this guy as well, who is now rainbowed. And Pudding is around here somewhere. Where is Pudding? There she is, and Pudding is also maxed out. So anyways, that's going to conclude this video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. As I said, if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like. Let me know how your skill up went. Hopefully you guys got some good luck as well. But hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. If you guys want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But on that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.